Well, hey everybody, it's Steve at 1,000 Year Homes. So around here, I try to build everything that'll last 1,000 years. So this is a little bridge, Da Vinci bridge that I built that is replication, 1/4, 1/2 scale of what my roof will be. So, and I used some aged wood and whatnot. Now that I don't think will last 1,000 years, but when I'm done, it might get 200 out of it, 100 to 200. So the next phase I'm on here is I need to build fake cliff walls around the base. And around here we have something called red rock. Let me show you some. So the cliffs around here are made of this. It's an iron oxide, right? And it's called red rock. Thus some of the towns around here are called red rock. Anyway, this is what color I want my fake cliffs to be. One side will be earthbag, and the other side will be hyper Adobe. Down in the bottom is my mix pit. So I've got a big project here. And, I'm behind on the build of the house. It's going into 9 months behind. And I've got a real complex theory. I've been thinking about it for real hard and long. I think I'm behind because it's really hard. Really, really hard. And you can't estimate that when you're a solo builder, how hard it's going to be. And you overestimate your own abilities. You underestimate the complexity. You put it on a piece of paper and you're 9 months behind. And then I had things like this. Never did I think I'd be building a prototype bridge, which is actually to represent my roof, over a creek, but, I have flooding here that I'm trying to control. It has not rained all in, September, October, November. If I put it together, I wouldn't have gotten 1 inch of rain. Poor little Texas. It's a mess, but I want to get the earth bag in here today, up high enough that if it rains, it will, maybe I'll luck out. But, anyway, half of it with earth bag. Down in the bottom will be my earth handling pit. So what I have to do is I have to put on my bucket. I'm going to go around and dig a hole. I'll show you that in just a second. All right, so behind me is another project, which is to create a holding tank for the roofs so that I can capture more water when and finally it does come. I don't know, maybe December, maybe January, maybe never. Who knows? But anyway, that's it says 5,000 gallons, but it's been chopped off. So I did the math on it. It was a little over 3,100 gallons if I went all the way to the top. But I need to dig that and put it down in the ground 2 foot. And so the dirt out of here, I'm going to take over there and I'm going to use for the earth bag. A couple of different reasons for that. That is all clay that's dried out and it's as hard as concrete. And to resaturate that and get it going again would be very, very difficult. This will be fresh dirt. It'll be a little more easy to work with. Once I pull the dirt out of here, I'm also going to add concrete in about a 10 to 20% mix to this earth, just straight out, not adding anything else, no sand, no nothing. I want to see how it compresses. I want to see how it behaves. To that entire mixture, I'll pour in a little water and screed the water in there until I can, make not a wet, gooey clump, but just a nice, dry clump. Then I'll pack earth bags or I'll pack hyper Adobe. I'm hoping to get it done at one side or the other today. Then I will stucco those walls using iron oxide as a dye so that it looks like red rock. And then while I do that, I'll add those stones in so that there's some stones jutting out so it looks more like a cliff. That's the goal. We'll see how far. But without further ado, let's go ahead and fire up the tractor, get the blade on the front, pull this out of the way. Last night in the dark, I went ahead and dug all the way around it so I know what circumference I'm digging. I need to, dig the nozzle there, which you can't see very easy, but there's a nozzle, and I make room for that. That'll go into the ground to the same height where the floor will be for the shipping container. Let me go ahead and do that. All right, so here we go. I've got to get this tank, and it weighs 1,100 pounds, so I've got to get this moved without cracking it any further. So my idea was to strap it, hold it up with bungee cords, and pull it. That worked pretty good. I had already dug the circumference around, so here I am getting rid of the grass. And it's a manual process.
I go ahead and get the shovel out and use the grass, put it back in the holes that are all around that twist ankles. So this took me a little while, just to move the grass. You might not have this step. You might bring in gravel and whatnot right straight from trucks. But this is what I did because I need to bury that tank halfway up. So this worked conveniently for me to do this. The next layers I can just dig right in, but this was very handy for moving grass, filling holes, doing a little bit of work. You let the chicken scratch it level by throwing birdseed on each one of these. So that was kind of handy.
All right, now that I have the topsoil up, I'm going to go ahead and start digging out the trench to fit that down halfway. Half will stick up above the ground. The top of the tank will be the same as the top of that. So I'll have to do some measurements and maybe backfill. I don't know. We'll find out. Let me just start digging though.
Here I'm getting right down into the soil I'm going to use. And I mixed this with concrete and the clay that's already there. So I'm going on and I'm using the stock tank itself as my mixing pit. So a scoop of clay, a scoop of this, a little bit of concrete. Yeah. And I'm just sandwiching that up over itself in the back. Leah's helping me move all the buckets and all the bags now. And we'll be bagging these in just a second.
Well, Leah's helping me out today. She's setting up the earth bag in the bags that I'm going to use on that side. This side will be hyper Adobe. We are told turning them inside out, you don't have the corners and there's more solid thing. How hard is that, Leah, to turn them inside out?
It's not too bad. I have a system where you grab it from the inside. It's like a pillowcase.
Oh, she pillowcases it. All right.
Yeah.
But, everything takes time. If I had to do that myself and dig dirt and do this and do that, it sure does go a lot better. I think it goes 3 times faster with another person, not 2 times faster.
That's not
I
really.
would also think of, that one was just plastic?
Yeah.
Yeah, those will be trash bags or something.
Okay.
So you will need more bags. I've got another 3 bags of bags.
No, I didn't bring them all yet.
Oh, you didn't bring them all yet? Okay. Oh, yeah, I see. She's got the back end of the HEV filled up. Thank you, my darling.
Yeah.
All right, while she does that, I'm going to dig here. If it gets too dusty, you can just step off. But this might not dust up. This might just be super hard.
I wanted to at least get these.
All right, I'll wait a second.
So this is a lot of planning that went into this, and I still didn't know how to do it. So you think, oh, it's just earth bags. You just fill a bag with dirt and then stomp on it or pound it out and away you'll go. But simply handling dirt, I've done it my whole life, and every time I have to figure out how to do it. It's heavy, it's hard, it's difficult. This clay footing that I'm digging out here, the backhoe makes it look really easy. But even this is, the little bits that the backhoe didn't get, I couldn't even chisel out with a pick. So this is much, much harder than the backhoe's making it appear. But Leah has 40 or 50 bags to turn inside out. Later on, she hits a spider inside of one. Think of that, how awful that is. But this is a tremendous amount of work. And then I load shoveling the clay in here. So on the right side, you can see that there's the layer of sand that I brought from the other side. So what I'm doing is getting loose clay, dumping it on the sand, putting sand in, which has already been mixed with about 10% concrete. And the idea is that I would like to stabilize this earth with between 10 and 20% concrete, which I'm using the aggregate that's ready mix already. So I'm starting from a base there when I do that.
All right, I'm getting these. I'm going to call them footings because they are. It's cleaned up. Leah got a spider in a bag. I could not imagine. That's horrible. Oh my gosh, this stuff's so rock hard. Man. You can really see how clay turns into sandstone. If there was a little sand in here, all this would already be sandstone, you know?
Yeah.
The only reason it comes and goes is clay is because there's nothing to bind it. I just can't believe how difficult this all is. It's so hard I can't even chip it. I'm going to have to get a pick. Thank God for power tools. How did our ancestors do it, Leah? That's why cabins were 12 foot by 12 foot.
So as I'm going here, I am getting smarter. And it is funny that you have to learn how to work with dirt, but I'm learning. So here you can see the sandwich layers of the different materials, the sand, the cement, the clay, the sand, the cement, the clay. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here with the backhoe here, and I'm going to churn this into the mixing pit with some water that I brought in. That's just rainwater that I've gathered up. I'm going to guess a total of 45 gallons of water, and so I'm just churning that in. The clay does start softening right away, mostly. It ended up I couldn't get this all done in one day, and believe it or not, without compression, the concrete didn't set that night. So stabilized earth gives you a little bit of time to work with it, and that's a good thing of that. But this mixing pit worked really well. I don't know about the ratio of 10% to all of that. So in that big pile, I had about 5 bags of concrete into all that material. And in that, I'm going to do 40 bags of concrete, earth bags. So what's 40 divided by 5? That's about 10%. That's about 10%, assuming all my bags are 80 pounds. Some of them were heavier than that. Some of them were lighter than that. So this material mix here is 10% concrete. Now I'm not using mortar or lime or anything like that. This is ready mix that I'm putting in here because I wanted the stone. I wanted a little bit of aggregate. All of my stuff doesn't have stones. It's clay and sand. That's all I have. So here I'm doing the filling the bags. This didn't work out either. Don't bother putting the bags inside of the buckets. It just binds them. Cut a bottom out of the bucket and put the bucket inside the bag and fill it that way. This was very hard.
And I always know, I'm always overestimating how much energy. I heard the thunder. It ain't happening, right? But I kind of need to get up so that when this fills, I could get in here even with shorts and just work in the water. And I have yet to pull it out and put it in there, right? So my thought is rolling them up on the seam like that. Now, the real people, they use staples.
Yeah.
And they staple it. Would you bring me that tamper that's over there, love?
Can I walk across?
Yep. You may. You can hand it to me,
I feel
too.
like the billy goat's grass.
You are the billy goat's gruff. Unless that's a bad thing.
Remember the trolls were underneath and the goats were trying to go over?
Yeah. Bad old billy goat gruff.
That was one of my favorite books when I was little.
Was it?
Yep.
Scary. Oh.
You probably could have filled them more. There you go.
I'm learning.
Yeah, a little bit more on the next ones.
Well, with this being imitating a cliff, it won't be so bad because it'll have the ditches in it. But to do a house that would be all funky, or a wall all funky, so I don't know how to fill a bag. And you think that would be the easiest thing in the world. So listen, even knowing how much to fill a bag is the learning experience. And even though I'm folding them on the seams, by the time I throw them on the ground, the seam is rolled.
That's why once you get it out of there, I was thinking then we could maybe put one more scoop in and then flatten it.
Also, I've seen guys build wooden things that don't have sidewalls for the bags, and that's what you need, right? All right.
Working good though.
It's working. I don't know about the good thing. Working. The bags are, in my opinion, too loose. Yeah, okay, and then as I go up, the next row I need to put wire down that'll hold the
yeah, I saw your wire.
The wire.
From here on out, we're just learning and doing, just putting down and moving forward. Again, this isn't a mission critical. I'm not building a house here. You see that I have a an earth bank right behind it. I'm not supporting the walls up with that. I'm building a fake cliff wall, which I will pound rebar down through all of the bags, and that's how I'll keep it secure. And then it'll be capped with a concrete cap. So these aren't going anywhere. Normally, if you use earth bag, you would put barbed wire in there. There's a better technique than this really amateur, in my own eyes. It's this amateur method. It's just me and Leah, of course. And when people do earth bag, you generally see a bigger team. One guy doing earth bags, I've seen a couple of them doing it on YouTube, and they do it much better than me. But I bet you they did it with the first few. I bet you they were just as bad as I was with the first few. And I'm being overly critical. Again, this thing will be wrapped in stucco with a metal grill around it for the stucco. I'm not too worried about that. I'll put some red rock in there. It will look good when I'm done. But each bag I get a little better at. Each bag gets a little squarer. Each bag gets a little better. So my suggestion to you would be exactly this same kind of project. Find something to do if you're doing earth bag. And say I'll do 100 of them or so. This will end up being just 40. But do a project where you need about 100 of them, and then you'll know.
We have 2 ready to go.
2 ready to go. 2 ready to go. Hold on. No, baby. I appreciate your goodness. Oh, you're holding it? 1, 2, 3. Okay, hold it. No, I'm just going to roll it.
That one.
Oh my God, it's so much heavier than other ones.
Getting hard.
Wow!
Yeah.
This one did have more in it. That's the where it's too heavy for me to work with.
Exactly. You will take some of this out.
Probably 100 pounds is what it is.
Can we take some of that out?
Oh my God, it's even.
It's getting thick.
Well, we did add water, right?
Mm-hmm.
That took all my energy right there. That one little impossible thing went. Oh no, not you don't have any energy now. And that's the other difference with getting older, right?
Yeah.
When you're younger, you could reboot the system. No, I can't reboot the system. There's nothing. When the gas tank says E now, I'm E. I'm beyond E. In fact, I get kind of crouchy, like a hungry. You know how people get hangry?
Yes.
I get angry when I'm tired and exhausted now because there's no energy in which for me to survive.
I counted, so you're going to have 8 on the bottom row. So we need 8 all the way around times 5 is 40. 8 times 5 is 40.
40, huh?
We need 40, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
this bending underneath here was so much hard work that next time I go to come around, man, I don't know. Maybe I'll pull the tractor out, come in so I could put them in the bucket of the tractor and drive around with 5 on this side.
Yeah.
You know, and we'll do that side all the way up. But exhausting. Leah, just exhausting.
And these, we don't have to turn inside out because they're all white.
All white. Good
So
deal.
we have 40 bags.
40 bags.
We have 40 bags. So if you do 8 around, 5 high is 40.
All right, that is perfect.
Yeah, turn it that, yeah. Or maybe the other way where the round side is at.
I don't know. You know, it's just everything about
No, turn it the
working with clay is difficult.
Yeah.
I mean, it literally couldn't be harder. And then it rains and it all goes blue. There's no structure except that which we give it, you know, these earth bags. So what I think I'll do is do that. I'm going to turn the tractor around right now and put in what I need here for or whatever and do this next row, you know. All right.
Another 8.
Yep, we need another 8. And maybe that'll be done. All right, my first row of earth bags on the farm, and it is stabilized. So it's got clay, sand that I've dug out, earth sand over there, as well as cement that's ready mix. And about a 10% mixture maybe. So 8 on the bottom for the first row. So we estimated that's 36 high. We're thinking these bags are going to be 5 inches thick. So we're guessing 40 some odd bags. Listen, I'm telling you, 8. Of course, I did a lot of extra work today. But filling 8 bags and putting them around there, I took a break halfway through. Part of the problem was handing them underneath. That was very, very hard. You know what else? Also, I've seen people who do earth bag. They do the bag in the spot it needs to be done on. So they've got a little weird, you know, I'm going to look that up. You're right. It's a foldable device that they bag it where they need it. And then they just undo the device and it falls out. Because this was really hard. But first row done. I'm hoping to get another row or 2. I'm going to use the dirt that I've got there and then call that a day. I've got stuff to do besides this, but I'll be too tired anyway. But yay, first row. It'll look so inconsequential on film.